Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Sarah here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Theo, and he's selling his Amazon Associates and AdSense business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Welcome to the show, Theo. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well. Great to have you here. Looking forward to talking a bit more about your business. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. So this is an Amazon Associates and AdSense business in the electronics niche, created in September 2017. The average monthly revenue of the business is $8,584, and it has an average of $8,410 per month in net profit, and that's based on an 8-month pricing period. Included in the sale of the business are domain and all-site content and files, social media accounts, and SOPs. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 47272 to learn more about the business or place a refundable deposit to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing. Theo, can you tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yes. Hi, my name is Theo. I'm 26 years old. I originally created this website while I was in college. I had an internship and I really hated it, and I didn't want to work a 9-to-5 at the time, so I just decided to start this website. Eventually, I kept building it, learning more about internet marketing, WordPress, and all these related topics. And the website just started to grow little by little every month, a few $100s, a few $1,000s, and it grew to the point where it is right now.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that you decided after not liking your college internship to find something else more suitable. So that's pretty cool. Theo, why did you choose this business model that you're working in?
So I originally started when I built my first PC. I really enjoyed it. It was something that I was passionate about. So I always had a domain that was related to that, but I was just lazy and never really taught to create the website until after the internship. But after that, I just went into it. I just learned about WordPress through YouTube, set up the website, and then I had to figure out how to monetize it, such as affiliate marketing, AdSense, things like that.
Cool. That's so awesome that you kind of started off and you taught yourself everything. I'm wondering, why do you think this business model that you're working in is good for those first starting out in online business?
So this business model is amazing because you don't have to put in a whole bunch of hours. There are periods where you have to work hard to develop the business. And if you're implementing something new, there are short periods where you have to work hard. But usually it's just only a few hours a week, really. And yeah.
That's really cool. So why are you selling the business instead of, say, keeping it and growing it?
I'm selling it because I want to get out of student loan debt. And I also want to take advantage of the crypto market right now. I believe 2020 is going to be a big year for that. So those are the two main reasons why I want to sell the site. I would actually keep the site, but I just want to have that assurance, that income right now.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Theo, is there anything that you learned from this business that you'd apply to future sites or businesses? What did you find from building this that just seemed to really work for you?
What really works for me is taking advantage of the new technologies that are coming out. This website is in the electronics niche. So every time a new technology is released, that's an opportunity to grow the site. You could write a ton of articles based around one major technological release that people are searching for on Google. And a month or two, you can really expand the growth of the site permanently. So that's one thing I really like about this.
Oh, that's awesome. On the flip side here, was there anything you tried that, say, didn't work when building this business?
Not anything per se that didn't work, but I do have a definitions section on the site, and those definitions haven't really taken off, but I'm pretty sure if I continue to publish more, that over time you will see increased ad revenue from that. But at this moment, I'm not currently focused on that.
Okay, so that's a pretty cool growth opportunity. So I'm curious, you said you're 26 and you've built this pretty incredible business. I'm wondering for those out there kind of, wishing, wow, in my early 20s or maybe even later in life, and I really wish I could be starting this business, what advice would you maybe give to those who are kind of hoping to get in, or what sort of things that you wish you had known when you gotten started?
Two major things are, first is YouTube. YouTube is amazing. You don't have to pay a ton of money. Anything you want to learn is on YouTube relating to affiliate marketing, creating a website, anything like that. That is the most important thing. And the second is just work hard. Like, something may not work, but you can just keep trying and eventually you're going to get it. This stuff is not difficult. It's just putting in the time. So, yeah.
That's really solid advice. What are you currently doing in terms of marketing for the business?
I don't do any marketing, really, to be honest. I rely strictly on Google, on finding the correct keywords that people are searching for that are not competitive to the point where you're not going to rank for them. And there are a lot of keywords still out there to be found and a lot of new products still being released that you can write about. So there's always opportunities with that.
All right. Where would you say the majority of your traffic comes from?
Google. The majority of traffic comes from Google, and it's all free. Like I said, that's all related to picking the correct keywords and things like that.
Okay, cool. Earlier you were mentioning some pretty cool growth opportunities. What would you say are the major opportunities for growth for a buyer who'd like to take over this business?
For me right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to automate the site a lot more because at first I was hands-on a lot, but right now I'm trying to get a VA that'll handle everything else, and that way I can just review things, which will reduce the time working on the site to like an hour and make things more efficient. Another way to really grow the site, like I mentioned earlier, is just taking advantage of new opportunities. Like in this niche, there are always new products being released. There are plenty of ways to expand the site around that. So I would take advantage of that if I'm a new buyer.
All right. Would you say that there are any risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
The site is very competitive. The niche is very competitive, but I still think, like I said before, there's plenty of room to grow. So I would be worried about the competitiveness, but I'm still very profitable, as you guys can see. So it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So can you describe the amount and type of work you do on this business for maintenance?
Okay, so the amount of work I do on the site is not very much. There are periods, like I said earlier, where you have to work a little bit harder. But two main things I do is I either draft articles onto the site or update the current articles on the site. So for updating the articles on the site, I usually have two update runs, as I call them. The first one is for the beginning of the year. So I just actually completed one. For example, I converted all the 2019 articles to 2020 articles for the beginning of the year. And this is usually the most costly expenses, but it's still not about $200 on average a month. It's still not that expensive overall. And then the second update run will be sometime in July. But other than those two periods of updating the tech articles,
how many hours would you say? It's good the way you've kind of set it up and you're talking about, okay, you're basically doing these article runs twice a year, sounds like ish, and you're spending like an hour a day on the business, or how many kind of hours a day or a week are you spending?
Usually it's about, on average, maybe 3 hours probably. Some days is more, some days is less. But like I said before, after the periods of the two update runs, usually you're just drafting 1 or 2 articles a week. So that's actually the time between those two periods, you're actually probably working like 1 hour, 2 hours a day max, if that.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, would you say there's any, say, like skills or requirements for someone not familiar with this niche or business model?
I would say that you should be knowledgeable about the electronics niche. You should have an understanding of keyword research. You should have an understanding of just how to manage a WordPress site in general. But if you've had experience with these type of sites before, you should be fine.
Okay. A few roundup questions here. How much support are you offering buyers?
I'm willing to provide anything they need. Like I said, I'll include my draft templates for drafting articles, my update templates for updating articles, any tips that I have. I'm just available for whatever the buyer needs.
Okay, cool. Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, I would, but I would like to talk about that more with the buyer as well. But yes, I would.
Okay. Are you open to something like an earnout?
I'm not really open to it. I just want one transaction. Like I said, I would like to pay off my student loans and go into other business opportunities. So I kind of want one transaction. And yeah, that's kind of where I stand on that.
Yeah, I understand. Well, a few personal questions for you. Is there anyone who inspired you while building this business that our listeners might like as well? That could be some podcast or communities, Facebook groups, just anything like that.
I would say, like I said, YouTube. I would say Doug Cunningham on YouTube. He really helped me out a lot when I first started this website. So I would say Doug Cunningham on YouTube.
Okay, cool. And, any software tools that you found that were really helpful that our listeners might like as well?
So AAWP is a plugin for pulling the images directly from Amazon. That way you don't have to edit, cut every single product image on the site. You can just use that plugin to pull the images onto the site for whatever niche you're in. So AAWP plugin is probably a software I would recommend to most people.
Cool. All right. A personal thing for you here. And maybe I already know this, but just in case you have anything to add, what drove you and motivated you while having this business?
Just wanting freedom, just not wanting to work a 9 to 5, to be honest. My time is more important than, I feel like, $100 an hour or $200 an hour. So if I was only making only a few $1,000s, I would still be happy because I'm not spending the majority of it in an office. And that's not to knock people who work a 9 to 5, but that's just for me. My freedom is most important.
I understand. I think that resonates with a lot of people listening into these interviews, but also, interested in this business in itself. Many coming to this business for that reason exactly. So it's pretty cool. I think I've got one wrap up here for you. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
I think this is a business for buying because it has lots of potential. There's still many things I haven't done with this site because I'm currently focused on other business opportunities, as I mentioned before, but there's just always opportunities to grow. YouTube is another great way to grow the website. That's something I would get into if I was keeping the website, but yeah, so there are just many ways to grow this website. That's it.
Awesome. Well, Theo, this has been a great conversation. I think you've got a pretty cool business here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything plays out for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, for everyone listening out there, thanks for tuning in. To check out more details on this business or place a deposit, visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 47272. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. By placing a refundable deposit, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business and can start your due diligence. Until next time.